Oh man, do I love food. The LA Times even took notice after I ate at Hugo's nearly every day for 32 years. It was just blocks from my home in West Hollywood. And now I've moved to the Motion Picture and Television Fund here in Woodland Hills, and my obsession for good meals continue to simmer. Join me as I explore our food options here on the Wasserman campus.
The most incredible, joyous, travel. I'm so in love. I woke up this morning with your theme song in my head.
Oh, I'm so glad. I love it too.
Yeah, it's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Phil and Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
So nice to meet you, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time and spend some time with us here on the...
I love it. I love it. I love the MPTF. I love everything about it. I love food, and now I love you.
No, you're beautiful. We have the same affection. I love food. I have not had the pleasure of traveling to the wonderful places that I've seen that you've traveled to. I mean,
well, I guess that's what the show is for, right? So that you can travel without leaving. But I try to inspire people to actually go, because that's where the real fun is. But I think that you could travel in your own town. You know, especially if you're in Los Angeles, you're in a city with more diversity than anywhere else in the world.
There's a lot to see here. You go up to the Central Coast, you go up further beyond San Francisco, Napa Valley, and so forth. Where you've been, San Francisco was not good to you, which is really strange. I mean, that was
of all the places, right, around the world. Right. That's where I got food poisoning.
Really, and that's
the only place.
I know, because I see you picking up food off of carts.
Yeah.
And being presented with food, in all of these places, and you never had any trouble.
No. I was as surprised as anyone to find myself in that situation.
Have you prepared yourself in the sense of any sort of shots or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I get, if I'm going to a part of the world where you need a certain shot, I get that shot. Yeah.
You get that shot. Yeah.
One doctor said, if you're going to Vietnam, you got to have this anti-malarial medication, and you take that. Well, it just made me really groggy and really nauseous, and I was like, I don't know if I can even function taking this medication every day. And they said, why are you taking that? I said, the doctor said, they said, there's no malaria here. You don't have to take that. So you never know.
Really, truly.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Do you have a favorite, Phil, of all the places that you've been?
I do. Italy.
I spent time. Oh, bless you. I spent time in Italy.
Do you love it?
Yes, there was nothing like it. I didn't get around it as much as you did. I enjoyed your piece on Naples about the pizza, and I enjoyed the lady was talking to you, one of the ladies who made the pizza, and she was talking about the time when they had the shutdown there.
Yeah.
When everybody came out, the first thing they did is went to have pizza and then went to the vaccine.
That's exactly right. That's right. Yeah.
Italy is a favorite. I mean, I learned back then, I knew cappuccino, but who knew espresso and lattes and the various different kinds of pasta.
The different coffees that you get, you realize when people, they go to Starbucks, they don't even realize that it's all trying to be Italian.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
That's all Italian. We're just trying to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
But the Italian coffee, where you just go, and when you say coffee, you get a shot of espresso, right? Small. And you just go up to the bar, you put your elbow on the bar, you have the thing, you talk to your neighbor, bop, have one, maybe another, bop, maybe a little cookie. That's breakfast.
That's breakfast.
And a lot of the guys, they also have a cigarette while they're doing it. But it's a coffee culture.
Very much so.
Cafe culture, right, in Europe, which is so wonderful. They want to enjoy the day.
Yes. No, absolutely, as they should. It's so important. Important. And I noticed that when was it in Naples where the gentleman bought the extra cup of coffee, the third cup?
Oh, for you buy an extra cup for the guy who may not be able to afford it.
Right.
And so there's always going to be a coffee for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Isn't that lovely?
No, that's something. That is good. How is it going to places like you haven't been yet, like Moscow and China?
Yeah. So I've been to Moscow, not in the show yet, but I did a movie in Moscow called, because I did the show Everybody Loves Raymond, and the Russians called when Raymond was over. They wanted me to help them make Everybody Loves Kostya. And I said, I will go and help you, but I want to film the whole process. So I filmed the whole process. You could see this movie. It's called Exporting Raymond. And it's about me going over there, thinking I'm an expert in a subject, Everybody Loves Raymond, and I go to a land where nobody cares. They wanted to do it their way. Mm-hmm. And that's what the movie's about, how your sense of humor and your sensibility and your expertise has no bearing on reality in another country, sometimes, right?
Right. No, absolutely.
But I found the food to be remarkably good in Moscow, and everything is brilliantly designed to go with vodka.
Of course. Yes. Yes, they do drink vodka.
Yes.
No. Did you find yourself partaking in maybe too much vodka?
Only every night.
Only every.
Have you ever been there?
I have never been there. My sister and brother-in-law have been there.
Yes.
And it was several years ago.
Yeah.
And they were requested to bring their own toilet paper. I'll never forget that.
That was years ago. So in the mid-2000s, like around 2004, 2005, they struck oil, literally, and it changed everything. If you went to the center of Moscow today, you would think you are in Paris or another, Western capitalist society. There's in Red Square, one of the buildings is a giant department store mall, like you would find in New York or Los Angeles or Dubai or to any, wealthy country. Now, as you go out from the center, Moscow becomes more and more like Newark. It's a little less nice, and it's bitterly cold, and a lot of stuff doesn't look particularly nice. It's functional instead of, aesthetically pleasing, and life is hard. Stuff doesn't work the way we're used to. And so you start to understand the vodka on the table every night.
Right.
It's a hard life.
Kind of food? No, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
What kind of food did you particularly enjoy there?
Well, it's a world city, Moscow, so they have cuisines from everywhere, but I really like the Russian cuisine. They have wonderful fish and wonderful stews, and borscht is delicious. If you never had real borscht, it's really good. And even things like the cold boiled cabbage that comes at the beginning of the meal in a traditional Russian place. It's a little pickled, and it's cold and crisp and really tasty. This couldn't be more of a peasant dish, right?
Right. Sure.
Cold cabbage. But there comes the vodka. And wouldn't you know that the pairing of that flavor of the cabbage with the vodka is one of the greatest tastes on earth? Like an amazing thing that you would never know until you go there.
Right.
That's the beauty of travel. And the beauty of cuisines. The best cuisines in the world are the ones that have been made out of necessity. The most delicious food. Because you're taking something that costs next to nothing and out of necessity and out of a desire to make something nice in your life, you make it delicious. And then the world beats a path to your door. And that's the story of every street food in the world, I think. And families who live on that through sheer inventiveness and the inexpensive ingredients and just, it's all about seasoning and spices, right? And you can make almost anything taste amazing if you use the right combination of things.
Well, those spices in Marrakesh were...
Yes.
That was quite something to see.
Oh, boy, do I love that place. What an exotic place. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
So Italy is where you've been.
I've been to Italy. I've been to the UK.
London is great. Yeah. London was a terrible food city, and now it's one of the best in the world.
I found it when I was there, I didn't find it bad because you can find other foods.
That's right.
The English food, per se, English food is very heavy, as you know.
Yes, yes.
So the availability of all these other foods was very helpful. But I did have a full English breakfast, which...
My favorite.
Oh, my God. I mean, the bangers and the mash and the... I mean, it's I'll never forget it. Never.
We need that here, don't we?
Yes, but the food we get here, that it's just different. You go back to the London shop in where is it, in Santa Monica?
Yes.
It's not the same. It just is.
You can get some of the packaged goods, some of the cookies and things like that, but it's not, or biscuits as they call them. Mm. But they if you want, that's the point of my show, is that if you like a certain cuisine or culture, you got to go to the source. You got to see where it comes from, because that's where it's going to be the best. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as, hey, you like Italian food? Guess where it's really, really good. You like Chinese food? Guess where they have the best Chinese food?
No, I see that you really move around. And you've got a crew of 25 or so, 25, 30 folks.
I'm so glad you think that's what it is. We don't even have 10 people.
You don't even have 10 people?
No. Hey, money doesn't grow on trees, Phil.
Yes, I haven't found my money tree yet either.
But you know what? You can, especially in these times where there's a pandemic out there and you can't get around so much, not only can you travel in your own town, but you can travel from your room by picking up your phone and looking at the menu of a place that may deliver, of a cuisine you maybe never tried before. Mm-hmm. And that's as adventurous as, sometimes we can get, but it does liven up life. I don't know if you've ever had, I'm just using this as an example, Peruvian food.
There was or is a Peruvian place, yes, Santa Monica and Melrose.
There you go. And you know it.
Yes. In the little shopping center there.
That's right. It's Mario's Peruvian.
Mario,
at Melrose and Vine.
Yes.
That's exactly where it is. And you've had it.
I have. I've had
so it. For our listeners today, just as an example, you can say, well, I don't know anything about Peruvian food, but we all have the phone and we can all look at the menu. You just Google Peruvian food or Filipino food or Greek food or Turkish food. There's something in LA, right? There's going to be. And then you joke, but I don't know what to get. Look at the menu. The menu's online too. Look at the menu. They have chicken and rice. I like that. Yes, order that. And the next thing you know, you order something a little wilder.
So, Mr. Gittelman.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, known as Mr. G. If you're at Hugo's at any point and you want to order the Mr. G cocktail.
Yes, that's him.
That's him. That's him.
Oh, I gotta get that. Is it good?
It's very good.
It's great.
Phil is one of our joke tellers. On Fridays, we do a dunk tank, which is basically our crew member Jenny stands on a Bosu ball, and the residents throw jokes at her. So if your dad ever wants to join us for Dunk Tank, Phil is the all-time champion of the one-liners.
That sounds fantastic. I'm going to tell my dad, because he's in a retirement community in New Jersey, and he would love that. And he knows how to work this. Phil, tell me what was before you got into food hosting, what was your profession?
I started in 1963 as a talent agent.
As I moved through the world of agents, I then got involved in the personal management world. And I found out what that was about. And for about 45 years, I was a personal manager and represented talent. One of my clients, who you have worked with, was Craig T. Nelson.
Come on, really?
Yeah, we were together for years, and we were together up until the beginning of Coach.
And I met him, of course, 3 years into Coach.
Right. Oh, 3 years into Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy and a wonderful actor, and can be very funny. But I used to hang out because I lived in West Hollywood. And, at the corner of where I lived on Kings Road in Santa Monica, blossomed this restaurant called Hugo's.
Right.
Because Hugo's was originally an Italian butcher shop.
Oh.
And then when Hugo died, a butcher who was working for him bought the restaurant and opened it as Hugo's in 1980. And then that's when it became the restaurant, and it's just gone on. It became an incredible...
Very popular.
Extremely popular, yeah. And the same...
No, I love it.
The chef who was there in the bar when I started to go there was a dishwasher. Talk about starting from the bottom going up. So it was quite interesting, and they've done very well. And the food is terrific. Have you? And I guess you have made your way there.
Of course, I've been eating there for years. I moved here in 1989, so I've been here 31 years, or 32 years now. And I'm a New Yorker. Did you come from New York, from the East Coast?
No, I'm born and bred here.
You're a rare one. In the business, 90% of the people I meet in the business came from the East Coast. But no, I was a diehard New Yorker, and then slowly but surely, as I found work and I found a place to live and had a family, this became home to the point where I didn't want to go back. I love visiting New York, but this is a much easier place to live.
Oh, yes. The lifestyle, the weather, oh, my God. Yes.
And now the food. I tell people, and again, I'm a New Yorker at heart. The food scene in Los Angeles is now the best in the country, even surpassing New York.
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, I feel very bad because what's happened with COVID and these restaurants that we won't see anymore.
Well, we have to keep supporting them and keep fighting for them. They're not all dead yet, but there are some good people in Washington who are looking out for them. Who there's a hashtag Save Restaurants that's online, and that's all about writing to your congressmen and senators and having them expressly bail out the restaurant industry, which is the largest industry in America. It employs more people than any other industry in America other than the U.S. government. And so they deserve a bailout more than airlines and hotels, which have already gotten theirs.
Yes. No, I agree with you 100%. And I've just seen in West Hollywood alone, I was there was something like 270 restaurants of all sizes.
Right.
And so they're going through a tough time. But I'm hoping that, the people will continue to support, and it's really important. and I see you're a big supporter.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're really, I take my hat off to you, sir.
Thank you.
It's what you do with the World, was it the World Kitchen?
World Central Kitchen.
World Central Kitchen.
Yeah.
That gentleman who has been to so many places.
Jose Andres.
Jose Andres, yes.
He's a hero.
Yes, he is.
For people who don't know, the World Central Kitchen goes wherever there's a natural disaster or an unnatural disaster, they go. And the money that they've raised goes to paying restaurant workers who might be displaced themselves or unemployed themselves, pays them to make food for people in need.
Your fitness versus the amount of food that we see you consume.
Yes.
Is amazing, and it gets commented on in a couple of the episodes.
Yes.
Phil, our own Phil Gittelman, had a similar, I think, renaissance after he moved here and realized that it's not just about the food you get to enjoy, because here, before the pandemic, when we had social dining, it was basically all-you-can-eat buffet. Just order what you want, and the people here will make sure that you are accommodated in whatever your flavor profiles tend to be. One of Phil's neighbors, a couple of doors away, they know that if you're putting whipped cream on dessert, you're putting 10 times the amount of whipped cream on hers. But Mr. Gittelman now has a constitutional that he does every day, a couple of times a day. And
fantastic.
The weight that he may have put on a few pounds when he first moved here, that has come back off. What is your routine? How do you eat all of this amazing food? Because you're going to Peter Luger's and bring everything to me now, and sharing it as well. You've just this beautiful sense of community that you instill.
You just hit on one of the secrets. I share everything. I don't finish anything. I take 1 or 2 bites on camera of what we're eating, and I give it to the crew or to someone next to me or to someone watching. And that way, not only do I get the fun of sharing it and seeing someone's face light up, but I save my belly to taste another thing, right? So I can do it. And no, it looks like I'm a pig and that I eat so much, but you're also seeing a week's worth of filming condensed into less than an hour. So every scene is like, that's all I ate that day. You know how they make a dog food commercial, by the way? They don't feed the dog until the commercial. So I'm the dog. I don't eat until you see that scene that day. So I'm extra excited to be eating. That's number one. And number two is I do work out every single day. You have to. You got to pay the piper. Do I like exercising? No. But now, the secret is taking a bad habit, like, say, sitting on the couch and eating potato chips all day, watching TV, and turn it into a good habit. So that even if I'm not thrilled to work out, I feel weird if I don't now, right? That's a habit. That's a habit. You feel weird if you don't do it. You're compelled to do it. It's compulsive.
No, you're right.
And so I do it.
Yeah.
And that helps. Listen, as we get older and your metabolism slows down, it doesn't matter how much exercise you do. It's 90% of your body is what you put into it. Here's an example. You know how long it takes to eat 200 calories? Half a second.
Yeah.
It's a cookie.
Oh, wow.
Right? That's a 200 calories, okay? You know how long it takes to burn off 200 calories on the treadmill? An hour. Yes. So that's what happens. When you're younger, your metabolism is faster, but as we get older, you gotta actually not eat as much junk.
Right.
That's just that's one of the sad facts of life.
But you make it all look so delicious.
Yes.
Your face lights up, and you.
I would never deny myself, right? I'm just saying, don't, you know, everything within reason, right? I like to have a drink, but I don't have more than one, maybe two at the most. You know, I like to have dessert, but I don't have to have it after every meal. I'm not a child. You know, children get dessert after every meal. Most of the world's not like that, by the way. You don't have to have something sweet after every single meal. And if you do, have a piece of fruit. That's not going to hurt you. You can have all the fruit and vegetables you want. That's what every doctor will tell you.
And some of the fruit that you profiled that, that you run across. Oh.
Well, I get so excited when it's great because it's like nature's reward for human beings. Like, whether you believe in God or not, the fact that this is available to us, literally growing on trees. When you go to Thailand or to Brazil and have, you know, these tropical fruits. This is the tropics. That's where fruit goes to party, right? That's where it becomes the most flavor. Like, there's no dessert in the world that can rival some of the mangoes that I've had, right? Or the crazy, even durian, which I thought was going to be really scary and smelly, was delicious. I can't believe that the fruit of the world, that could be a whole show unto itself.
There you go. There's the next one.
Yes.
The fruit of the world. Not the fruit
Fruits
of the
world.
Fruits of the world.
Phil's fruits of the world.
So, Phil, Mr. Gittelman,
yes.
There's also an incredible story that I was hoping I wouldn't have to prompt you, but I'm going to do it. I am still surprised that you haven't done a Somebody Feed Phil Los Angeles because of what you just said. There's some incredible, you know, places to eat and classic restaurants. One restaurant that just turned 100 slightly over a year ago, also a place where Mr. Gittelman made quite a name for himself. Phil, will you share that story with your guest?
Tell me.
You do it so much better than I do. See, we had the privilege of helping Musso and Frank celebrate their 100th anniversary. And there was a party for MPTF, for donors, and also to raise money for MPTF, and Musso and Frank were part of that. And there were about 6 of us residents who had the privilege of participating. And we went to Musso's. They took us over there. We went via bus. We went in the back door, you know, the famous
of course
door with that deep step.
Yeah.
And, so in we went, and that evening, the room with the where they cook in front and they have
the grill.
The grill was closed.
Okay.
The entire second room was open. And that's where we had the party.
Great.
They had the menu, prices were marked down 100 years. So, which was, of course, quite interesting. So while we're there, as you came in the back door, that counter section with the booths was set up as sort of a memorabilia area.
Yes.
So I went by there rather quickly, went into the second room, sat down and whatnot. One of the residents came over to me and said, "Phil, I got to show you something." And I said, "Okay." And so she takes me to a piece of memorabilia, which is, it's a 3-hole notebook.
Yeah.
It's encased in glass, and it's got names on it, and it's opened up to a page where it has Steve McQueen's name, because this is a list of some of their credit card holders.
Okay.
And 2 spaces under Steve McQueen's name was my name.
Hey!
And so I have had a credit card with Musso and Frank for a lot of years, and they're few and far between. So
isn't that great?
Yes, it's truly.
And did you get a 30-cent steak that night?
Actually, my favorite at Musso's is their broiled chicken.
Great.
Their broiled chicken is.
And what was it at the 1919 price?
Oh my gosh, my memory, I can't tell you because
that's probably 20 cents.
They have, as you go in that back door, you can see.
You can see it. That's where I'm getting these numbers from.
Right.
Because I remember them. I love stopping there and telling my family, do you see what could have been? You see what I could have, if I was just born a little earlier, I could have saved a fortune.
Oh, listen, please continue to do what you do because you're a very special individual, sir.
Oh, thank you.
You do it well, and you've got a great resume in our world of show business, and you've now extended it to food, which is second to my heart. So you're a lunchman for life.
Thank you so much, Phil. As soon as this horrible COVID nonsense is over, you and I are going to eat for real, okay?
Great. I look forward.
Me too. We'll either eat there or we'll get you out of there for the night.
When the pandemic started and everyone here on the campus had to pivot and figure out like what we were doing and how we could keep people engaged and connected, we also knew that we were going to need to raise a lot of money for people out in the industry that were going to suffer work shortage and didn't know what was going to happen with their health. And Phil stepped up along with a few other producers and said, let's do this virtual fundraiser. He gathered some of the wonderful talent that he has worked with. And in May, Phil helped make that virtual fundraiser happen. And it raised a lot of money for us and made such an impact. And from all of us, we are very, very grateful.
Thank you.
You are very special, and the inhabitants there are very special to me. And I just feel grateful. Those of us who are lucky enough to work today in the business, we only stand on your shoulders. We wouldn't be here without your great and brilliant foundation. And I'm a fan besides. So thank you.
That's very sweet. So if I may, Phil, as I usually sign off, till we eat again.
That's a very good sign off. Thank you.